Hello. Well, I had a question from Chuck down in Arizona about what the Cub that I'm flying, and you can see here possibly that in the foreground of the screen the aircraft selection, and I've selected the Carbon Cub, and in the background here is the Cub that I've been flying. Now, this is the Carbon Cub is actually a little smaller, and you'll see the side. You don't see the full airplane, but I can tell you that it's just slightly smaller, and it flies differently than the bigger yellow Cub that I like to fly, and I'll go ahead and fly it here and show you what the difference. The reason I use the larger Cub is that I think it flies a little more realistically. They've got slight differences in the way these airplanes fly, and this airplane here, I'll move it a little bit so you can see the ailerons. And when I move the ailerons, this Cub actually shows the way the original yellow Cub that I flew when I was learning to fly, even though I wasn't that aware of it. That what happens when you want to bank to the right, where the arrow is, the right wing aileron goes up and the left wing aileron goes down. So that aileron that goes up is going into a low pressure area. It's low pressure on the high side of the wing, and under the wing is high pressure. So that right aileron has less drag than the aileron going down into the high pressure area. So you want to bank to the right, and what actually happens initially when you push the ailerons this way is that this going into high pressure area causes more drag and pulls the nose slightly to the left. That's called adverse aileron yaw. And this airplane actually has more adverse aileron yaw than the other yellow Cub. And it just modern airplanes today, and I don't know whether this airplane realistically. Now, I fly the X Cub in my flight simulator, and it's not that noticeable about the adverse aileron yaw is not a big deal when I'm flying that airplane. What you did in the old days is you would see the rudder moving back and forth. Here, I'll move it. So you see the rudder. See the rudder moving. So to counteract when you're banking to the right, and if this is causing adverse aileron yaw, is you use a little bit of rudder. They call that a coordinated control. So you use a little bit of aileron, and a little bit of rudder, and the aircraft rolls into a turn to the right. And that little bit of rudder counteracts that nose from yawing to the left. Anyway, that's a long explanation, but this airplane is a little harder to see than a real. You only need half power, and I'll use a little back pressure, and there you see. You'll see this. I'll bring it back past us here. You can see. You can't quite see it. I'll have to fly on by, and you'll see how the wing. It doesn't. See how it's going funny. See how that's adverse aileron yaw that's causing that. So you can just not use quick controls. You can just throw it into a bank, and worry about the control. Now this what's interesting about this airplane is they have all these features that are available today. So there's an electronic fence, so the airplane won't get away from you. This needs a little back pressure. So watch, I'm not touching anything. Oh, I have to get it to fly into the fence. There, it just flew into the fence. I'm not touching anything. The airplane flies back at you, comes back right to you, and adds a little power in case it was going to crash back there, and climbs. Now I have to get it going straight, get the wings level, so it goes straight right into the fence. Here it goes, right into the fence. So that's why I'm using the Yellow Cub. This, again, is a little bit smaller and a little harder to see, and I don't want to fly into that fence. I want to fly the airplane. This also has a beginner mode where you can throw the switch, and that's the way it was when I first took off. It was in the beginner mode. So in order to turn it, you just have to hold this down. I mean, hold the stick to the right, and then you let go of the stick and it automatically levels itself. So it has a built-in gyro. So now I'll go left, full left, and it won't bank any more than that. And an airplane really doesn't fly like that. And then I let go, and the wings just go level. And eventually it'll fly into the fence. So these are crutches. They're learning helpers. I can't think of the right word to tell you. I can reduce the power so it comes down a little bit, and it'll fly over to the other side into the fence, and that'll bring it back. So anyway, we'll do that, and then I'll put it into the they call it the expert mode, where you can actually when the wings wag like that, that means it's off. So now I can add power back in, and you can fly this thing. You can do all kinds of stuff. Yep. So this thing will. Now it just flew into the fence. And I gotta get it back down here where we can see it. I'll fly it around the building one time. About half power. And we got it with half power. You got to trim the nose up. So for level flight. Anyway, this keeps me entertained. Who would think a little toys like this? Okay, we're gonna fly around the building, put a little bank in for this coming between the buildings, and we'll fly right into my nose. And we'll come around and land. So this is called the Carbon Cub. And again, I just talked with Chuck about buying the Carbon Cub from Horizon Hobby. And there it is. There it is. Anyway, this is being promoted by Mike Patey up in Iowa, who is he's not educated engineer, but he's as close to being an engineer, probably a fantastic engineer. And he with laser scanning, his wife's new Carbon Cub was laser scanned, and this was created by that. So I just bought one of these. Realistically, and the wingspan is at least 4 feet on the thing, and so I'm giving it to my grandson. And it was 400 with taxes, 469, which includes the controller and a charger and 2 batteries and 2 propellers, one that's already on and one that's not. Very easy to assemble, and it comes in a box that's about 3.5 feet long, about 10 inches thick, and the wings are already built. You just put the wings on. Has a spar, carbon fiber spar. Anyway, I'm having fun, and if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll be recording this and sending it to you. You take care. Bye.